What's up guys, this is Darkbblue, a gamer who loves Souls-like games, looter games, and every game that involves build making. In Lost of the Fallen, combats during map exploration are much harder than boss fights. Although many Souls players are familiar with the latter, making strategies for exploration is a new concept. But we need to make the change if we want to master this new game. In this video, let me share with you my understanding of exploration combats. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's dive right into it. Let me first explain my basic principles. We know map exploration is a long-term activity. To make it last even longer, we should avoid taking unacceptable damage during combats. By this I mean you don't have to avoid taking damage completely. You can take some damage as long as you make it acceptable. With builds aka synergy between some gears, you can gain some health regeneration or damage reduction, making taking some damage acceptable. On the other hand, with better strategies and combat skills, you can take less hits at the first place. These are the two main approaches to mastering exploration combats, and both will be discussed in this video. Let's start with builds for better survivability. All possible components for a build include one melee weapon with 3 runes, one shield or the other melee weapon also with 3 runes, ranged weapons, accessories, lamp eye, and possibly consumables. Typical builds mainly rely on the synergy between runes, accessories, eye, and supporting sorceries. Let's see some examples for different builds. If you play Radiance, you have many supporting sorceries. Since Radiance builds usually tend to enchant weapons and do melee instead of directly using damaging sorceries, you will have enough mana to keep supporting magic on all the time. This is how you get survivability. If you play Inferno, the key is runes. Using Inferno runes, you can heal yourself when you hit enemies and kill enemies. Inferno runes, when slotted into shields, can give you extra max health or constant health regeneration. Even if you are playing a pure physical build, you can find some throwable weapons that give you aura buffs. Umbral builds, well, this may be the only build that don't care about survivability at all. You can literally spam magic and destroy everything, so who needs survivability? And lastly, Losh's Umbral Eye is always useful no matter what build you play. It makes you almost invulnerable when doing charge attacks. All in all, there are many builds that give you strong survivability. I don't think I need to list them all in this video. Let's move to strategies and combat skills that help you take less hits at the first place. We have 2 basic goals. The first is to reduce enemy units as fast as possible, which will lead us to a neutralization priority. The other is to avoid taking hits from other enemies when fighting one enemy. I will simply assume you can handle every enemy as long as you are doing solo, so the only problem here is external enemies, aka enemies that you are not currently focusing on. The most threatening enemy, in my opinion, is ranged enemies, so this is our first priority. Usually you can do this without actually engaging into the combat. It may be because you can kill them with range attacks from distance, or because you can lure melee enemies out of their range so that ranged enemies won't be bothering you. However, when you can't do either, you have to deal with ranged enemies during combat. You can attract other enemies away from them and take this chance to neutralize ranged ones. The second priority is mobs. Remember I said our first goal was to reduce enemy units. Mobs are very easy to kill, and that's why I choose to handle them right after ranged enemies. When mobs exist as external enemies, they are easy to deal with. They are usually slow and not very willing to attack, making them easy to lure away and leave you a safe space to fight other enemies. After mobs, I choose to neutralize elites that are easy to stagger. They are hardier, indicated by elite, but being easy to stagger makes them at least, well, easier to handle than hard to stagger elites. When they exist as external enemies, for example when you are mainly focusing on clearing mobs, you don't necessarily have to lure them away. You can use AoE attacks to stagger mobs and easy to stagger elites with the same hit. We will leave hard to stagger elites at last. You fight other enemies first by luring elites away from the battlefield, and everything is done, ideally, you can do solo against elites, which is a trivial situation we are familiar with. In summary, our killing priority is range enemies, mobs, easy to stagger elites, and hard to stagger elites. You will find it very helpful to lure non-targets away from the targets and to use AoE attacks. Therefore, if you have ranged or AoE sorceries, use them. Don't rely solely on melee. Let's see an example. Let's say we have some range guys, several dogs, and 2 hard to stagger elites. I will first deal with range ones and disable their threat. Then I will lure the dogs out and neutralize them first, either by melee or by AoE magic. When there are finally only 2 elites, let's check if we have any high damage range sorcery. If we do, it's possible to quickly kill one of them and let the combat fall back to solo. In conclusion, to make playing Lost of the Fallen more enjoyable, you need to first accept that, in this game, combats during exploration are meant to test your capability, not boss fights. So how to enhance this capability? One way is to rely on builds and obtain health regeneration or damage reduction so that some damage is acceptable. The other is to plan your killing priority and improve combat skills so that you take less hits at the first place. If you like my story or want to join me into depth of games, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, see you around.